God's tyranny. You have earned your place amongst the legends of the Sword Coast. You are the saviors of Baldur's Gate.
Last night was perfect. Though I couldn't help lying there thinking about my parents before you stirred. I gave them the release they asked for, freed myself from Shah's grasp just as they wished for. But there's moments where I think I'd trade that to be able to see them again. Talk to them again. There's so much only they could have told me. But that's all gone now. I've got to move on. Find some place for myself. I was hoping you'd say that. Whatever lies ahead will be far less daunting if I have you. It could be just like old times. Well, hopefully not exactly like old times. I think I've had enough camping and mortal peril for one lifetime.
Since the Netherbrain fell, you and Shadowheart have seen more of Faerun than you ever thought possible. She no longer shies from wolves or water. Nothing in the world frightens her anymore. And you feel you could face anything by her side. One day, you receive a letter passed to you by a stranger who bows with deference. An invitation to a gathering of the friends and allies who stood by your side in the fight against the Absolute. You waste no time in packing and set off on the long road back to where all of your adventures together began.
Thou wert called here, some from above, some below. For with thine bond, together thou hast kept the wheel of fate spinning when it threatened to halt. Though thou wert drawn far apart in the months after the collapse of the Absolute, tonight fate renews thy bond once more. Thou shouldst take care to preserve it. It is a great weapon wielded in the hand of good. Go. Know one another once more.
I cannot remember the last time I heard the Ballad of the Endless Spring performed. Now there's a ditty worthy of a knee slap.
I wonder if I can
Has
get
laid
this
out
mic
quite a
to
spread of
serve.
food, the one comprising mostly of bone. Perhaps he wishes to live vicariously through the attendees' appetites.
Now there's a face I know well indeed.
I didn't expect to be nervous. I feel like I must have dreamed the last few months. Now I'm waking up back in camp with my hair smelling like wood smoke and fallen leaves stuck to my backside. Save it for when we're alone. Anyway, I know it's real. I know we made it. I just wish I could go back in time and reassure the old me that it would all work out. But enough introspection. This is a party. So, we should divvy up what we tell people about what we've been doing these past few months. I'd hate to be a bore that comes along and regurgitates the same story to someone moments after you've told them. All about you, of course. Every day's I'm sure we'll have them hanging off our every word. I'll leave you to do some mingling, unless you need anything else. Why? I could get lost in those arms. Forgetting something? That's more like it. Don't get into trouble, but if you must, fetch me first.
Though I'm going to get
You made
very
it!
hungry.
Now the revelry can
soon.
You would think someone of my vintage would be inured to the passage of time. Yet these past 6 months have seemed endless without your company. But now, our paths cross once more. Perhaps that is so for you, but for me, I dwell upon what we shared. That bond was... I know it can. For I feel the longing for old friends in my heart each day. Well, I am not normally given even the most ascetic of... Now, we have much to catch up on. Do not allow me to ramble on. I am eager to hear all you've been doing. In that case, very well. Our community grows rapidly. In 6 months, we have turned what was once a shadowy wasteland into a true home. The old masonry of Moonrise Towers and Rythwin have been repurposed into new homes. And the land is rich with harvests and bountiful trees. Nature and civilization are in harmony, stronger together. It is, truly. We welcome folk from all walks of life. Anyone who wishes for a new start. Naturally, it can be chaotic at times, but it is a thrilling sort of chaos. As am I. Now, please, their appetite for... I have all but exhausted my repertoire in but a few short months. No mean feat given the lifetime I have lived. I desperately need new material, please. I am all ears. Though I never cared for that phrase. A rather unsettling image. You have... I shall be able... Now, it would be cruel of me to hoard you all to myself. Quite often. They ask us... To make a child smile is to dabble with the power of gods, as far as I'm concerned. On occasion, but I prefer not to interfere. Even Korga may yet find true balance, thanks to her influence. As did I. Amazing what can be discovered about oneself. Before you go, Ducks are my favorite, but I thought they were... Yet, they always find their way back to where they belong. Just a token to remember me by.
Eyes deceive me. The gang really is all here.
What a lovely occasion this is.
Oh, I simply must have this one. It's practically sanguine.
Though I'm going to get very hungry very soon.
Ah, my dear. Our skeletal friend will be very pleased to see I found my way here, despite... Oh, I wouldn't... You might help me with the tyke. Me, it... Perhaps... Ah, but you must...
Ah, soldier. How glad I am to see you again. Maybe I thought our paths would cross on their own. Or maybe I wasn't sure what you'd... But with a far more impressive... Our victory against the Dead Three. For example, my favorite food used to be... mutton chops. Do you know what it is now? True. But I've found ways to make... I've made arrangements with a healer in the city. When a patient is beyond saving, but still able to... They can go as nature intends to take them. Or, when they're ready, when their goodbyes have been said, when I consume their brains, I am nourished by much more. I've lived hundreds of childhoods, first loves. Thanks, soldier. It's been wonderful to see you. I wouldn't trade my life. Enjoy the night.
Well, well. Professor Gale Decarius of Blackstaff Academy. Educator of the esteemed School of Illusion. A pleasure to remake your acquaintance. Well, that was quite lovely. I have to say, I'm quite grateful to just be Gale for the evening. I fear my students find me somewhat intimidating due to my, explosive former or the fear of Mystra. I surrendered the crown of Carsus to her, as I told you I would, and in return she cured me of the orbit love. Even now I struggle to put the feelings into... Of course I have. I spend most of my time trying to convince them how much fun the study of magic can be. But it'd be easier to crack a smile on an intellect devourer than some of my pupils. Still, I hoped my students... Oh, they try their best, of course.
The cheek of them! Nothing a well-placed swipe from Tara can't fix.
And what of you? What are you making of this newfound lease of life we earned? And I couldn't be happier for you. I've told my... I'll be delighted to introduce you to my current cohort as a guest lecturer, perhaps. I'm sure they'd have plenty of questions for you. Well, I, for one, can't... Of course, you'll be... It will give us plenty of time. I'm very... So, in the spirit of selflessness...
I will never get tired. Well, the Grand Duke himself. Come to walk amongst the plebs. You're a man of power now, Will. However you introduce... People like us cannot just put on and cast off the trappings of power. We're special. You and I. Of course. It has been a joy. I've been... Cazador's mansion has become my palace, and played host to every kind of banquet and and of course, has seen its fair share of hedonism, clandestine. I'm spinning my web. Power grows slowly, but I have nothing but time now. Rather wonderfully, actually. They're the kind of friends that would see me burn the first chance they get. But the important thing is I am doing wonderfully. And who knows what's next? There's an entire world out there. Ready. Perhaps the next time we meet, we'll have grander conquests to toast. I did miss you, you know. We did share a wonderful adventure, you and I. But we have great new lives stretching. I will never forget the time we spent together, though. Until next time.
United with friends amidst nature.
Nice to return to familiar
What
environments.
more could I wish for?
He looks coyly at the ground, suddenly shy. He snaps the air and wiggles. He's either miming fighting a many-limbed creature. He is, however, exhausted. He's had plenty of adventures without you. The joy in the owlbear's eyes is clear.
What a lovely occasion this is.
Perhaps I should stretch my wings again. Who knows what people are gossiping about?
Though I'm going to get very hungry very soon.
Just the same old chatter. Does no one here get drunk and spill secrets?
Withers has a keen eye for a nice vintage. Why were we scrounging in barrels and crates for supplies when he could source
I
it?
simply must have this one.
God, I
It's
remember
practically
one evening when we had to
sanguine.
eat 14 apples, some fish heads, and a stale loaf of bread just to get by.
This is nice. A little tame compared to one of my parties, but it has a quaint charm.
Mustn't think about any of the local brains. Far too tempting.
Hello again. Beautiful. Well, they can't all be winners.
Oh, pardon me.
There's something strange in your old friend's mouth. What is it? A familiar invitation. He wants you to throw the object he's dropped. But it isn't a ball. It's the astral prism. He whines. Less talk, more throw. Scratch barks merrily in something like a green.
I will never get tired of seeing that face.
I didn't realize you were such a homebody, Tara.
Withers has laid out quite a spread of food, for one comprising mostly of both. Perhaps he wishes to live by
Nice to return to familiar
these
environments.
appetites. Oh, hello. Let me guess, you've got some suggestions about the music choice. I find it hard to summon up the trademark pep these days. You have no idea who I am, do you? I thought Withers might have set the stage a little. I owe him I thought honoring the worthy was a fair price to pay for Withers to pull me out of the fugue plane. Languishing in obscurity. Before I was banished to the fugue plane, I had song prayers coming out the proverbial ears. Guess... I'm washed up, I'm afraid.
Finally! The scribe picks an adventurer of substance, of culture. What can I do you for? Fantastical.
I remember one evening when we had to eat 14 apples, some fish heads, and a stale loaf of bread just to get by.
Hello again. Beautiful.
Enjoying yourself, I hope. I know. I'll have to stop myself from getting Let's make tonight count. The only regrets I want to hear about come morning should revolve around an excess of carousing and questionable dancing. Oh, did you now? Come on then, out with it. You didn't. Are you sure he'd want to join? I'm not exactly settled anywhere right now. It could be dangerous at times. All right then. It's settled. Oh, the thing... Why, I feel better already. Are you trying to make me sleepy?
Pity mutton chops no longer hold any temptation.
I should take a tour. Just to see what the rest are up to.
It's good to see.
Oh, pardon me.
Finders keepers.
The owlbear's eyes are alight with excitement. He can't wait to leave with Shadowheart.
When he could source these. God, I remember one evening when we had to eat 14 apples, some fish heads, and a stale loaf of bread just to get by.
What a lovely occasion this is.
Not one juicy secret to be heard. Such a pity.
It truly is splendid to see everyone gather. I spend half my days in... As for roaming, that impulse is...
Nice to return to them.
I wonder if I can get this from my own cellar.
I can't believe this is it's quite...
We've already had one heart-to-heart. Best to leave it at that, don't you think? I'm not...
This one night is like a... Thou art the savior of Baldur's Gate. Until such time it requires saving again. What indeed? Prick... The balance of the world restored. The balance of these lives, mortal and otherwise, brought to account. Hear me, thou heroes, wastrels, friends. I have waited long to tell you these words. It is over. For now. Thou played thy part in weaving the fabric of fate itself, but for every thread you sewed, so did the gods unravel another. Sleep, rest, revel, but be ready. For thou mayst yet be needed. Until we meet again, I wish thee every possible fortune, health, wealth, love, and above all, problems worth solving. To you. There thou art, the dead three. Thy faces gods, thy actions barely worthy of the name. Didst truly believe thy ploy would succeed? Didst believe I would not notice? Thou soughtst to bolster thy strength by taking away the souls of mortals. But souls vanish when their hosts become mind flayers. Didst think the other gods would not notice? Gods thou may be, yet thou hast proven thyself fools, everyone. The supplication of Bane, the whimper of Baal, the death mule of Merkel. Felled by mortals, I overestimated thee. They did not. Vermin, away. Thou wilt trouble us no more.
Remember the last time I heard the ballad of the endless spring. Now there's a ditty worthy of a
Yes! You're here!
Withers has laid out quite a spread of food, for one comprising mostly of bone. Perhaps he wishes to live vicariously through the attending